Hey, another mail call. It's a familiar logo. Finally, something nice arrived. And I'm sure everybody knows what it is. It's the UWT-50 LCC throttles from TCS. I got two. Only took a year. Well, I'm glad they actually arrived. So beggars can be choosers. You can't complain about stuff. In today's world, with the shortage of chips and stuff, getting this stuff with microcontrollers is, a good thing. And I ended up buying the encoder knob rather than the potentiometer because I kind of prefer the endless scrolling or endless movement as opposed to finding ends and then the middle. I don't know, I guess I was actually expecting or hoping when they said that it's going to be an encoder knob or something that would be just like a scroll wheel like on the UWT-100, and yet these came and they're actually they're turning this way. So I don't know. As I said, one way or the other, they're going to be good. And I know already that UWT-100 is a solid throttle, and these are about the same. They use the same firmware, same chipsets, I guess, and whatnot. So they're just like little brothers or little sisters to UWT-100, and they're also LCC capable and whatnot. So as an added bonus to those who haven't seen the throttles together, here is a UWT-100 and here is a UWT-50. You can see the size comparison and comparison in the hand. I suppose my hands are average size. I have long fingers, but I wouldn't say my hands are big. And so the throttle is about 6.5 inches, the UWT-50, while the UWT-100 is 7.5. The UWT-50 comes with two encoder knobs, well, two interchangeable knobs. And you can see that, look at the index holes, and then when we turn them around, these index holes are opposite. So they're actually made for left and right handers, for the people who have a potentiometer knob and not an encoder knob. I bought encoder knob, so this just keeps turning and turning and turning and turning. But if you have potentiometer knob, then you can set it up to be either left-handed, well, this is right-handed, or left-handed would be this one, and you would operate, and the potentiometer knob has actually a center point, and then it goes, I guess, what is that, 90, 120 degrees, I suppose, 135 degrees in each direction. But I like the encoder knob better because I don't know how it handles when you switch trains, because if you've left your thing, your potentiometer in one position and then you switch trains, does the other train just automatically take off because you're already off zero? I don't know, I didn't read about it, but I was actually hoping for this. I was hoping for a thumb wheel, and yet it ended up being a encoder knob. So you can see the cases are a bit different. You can see that this was more matte than this. Obviously it's a cheaper case, but I'm glad that they both gone with ABS plastic so that there is less prone to damage, I suppose. The displays are smaller, and I think they said that this display is cheaper, obviously, because this throttle is cheaper, but it's still a decent throttle, and you can see it, like it feels good in your hand, and you have these side buttons that you can access as well, and they go up and down and in. then you have as well these. So for the most part, it feels the same like the UWT-100. I mean, definitely I would say a good throttle. It's balanced, and nothing is off in a sense. This one has batteries inside. It's kind of heavier than this one, but it's just two AA batteries. I didn't really activate this yet, so I'm just showing it without any connectivity. I might do something in another video where we actually look at this. I still have to do that CS105 command station review, and I don't know when this video is going to be published. Maybe the command station review is going to come up before these throttles come up as a mail call, so I don't know, we'll see. Either way, just a quick update about that. Right now I have three actually. I have the UWT-100 and I have two UWT-50s. I don't know, maybe I should get one more, considering that this layout is big enough to have perhaps 4 operators, something like that. So maybe another UWT-100, I don't know, or another 50. But if I'm gonna do any of that, I should just move on that right now, because these are not gonna last long, and the way things are, once they run out of chips and the stock, they're probably not gonna have it for months, maybe a year, I don't know. Anyway, that's it for this segment. Thanks. In this segment, we'll do a sort of a mail call / track laying things. I'm not sure yet. Let's just see. So I got more turnouts, of course. These are the remaining joiners and ice insulators, just in case I need more. And then, of course, like a bunch of Unifrog left and right turnouts for the rest of the yard and the layout. I had to get a few more of the large ones and then some of the curved ones and whatnot. Of course, you can imagine that even this little box was a whole fortune of, paying fortune in turnouts. I guess it's not as bad as plywood today, where people are cashing in their retirements to build benchwork. But anyways, that's just completing the rest of the turnouts that I have for the railroad. Then I'll take it down over here. You'll see here the other boxes with the left and rights, and then there's a bunch of other ones, but I've already shown this. So, and then there's the ties and whatnot. So that's the impromptu quick mail call. But what I really want to talk about is something else, and that's about track laying. So I found this gentleman in UK. Well, actually I knew about this for years. Somehow I'd forgotten about it, and then through serendipity I remembered it right when I needed it, because I'm about to lay track, and that's track screws. And this gentleman sells both HO and N scale track screws, and if you can imagine, I bought N scale size, and these are 6, 8 and 10 millimeter bags. Each of them has 1,000. Well, actually the 10 millimeter has 700, but you can see how tiny these are. And I didn't want to do the normal route of using caulk or glue or something, just in case that I need to move the track around. I might have to pull it up, and I guess I could have just used ACC or some other glue, that cyanoacrylic glue or some CA glue, sorry, not ACC, and then just touch the ties or something. But let me just see if I can get this into focus. Oops, I just don't have them. But that's how tiny they are, these screws. And let's see if I can tell the camera to focus to that. They have a very fine thread, so they can be used on hardwood, although most people just use plywood or whatnot. And then I also bought a screwdriver, a fancy screwdriver, because I might buy a cheap one. And you can see it fits. Oops, it's just out of focus. It fits on the screw like that. So I'm using Pico Track, and Pico track, I actually noticed that it has dots on it, and I don't know if I can show one here. On the back of the ties, here's one. I can't see anything because everything is so bright in the room now with the lights on. But here is a little dot here, and it's basically a marker that can be used to drill a hole. And I already drilled a hole through one of these pieces. Here you can see. Oh, you can get it to focus here. Oh, I don't even see it. There it is. So there is the hole on this side, and then you can see this track screw point sticking out, and so it seems like very easy to do. I'll just move you in the position here if I can get that focused as well. And here we are, and there is the screw right here. Hopefully that can be seen. And really, I mean, you can just use one of these pinwise drills, and you can use a smaller hole, and really you just make sure to screw it down, not too tight, I guess, not to crush the tie, but really you can just press down and start the hole in the plywood or whatever piece of wood or whatever you're using. I don't know if you can screw this into pink foam or whatnot, but it's I'm just gonna hide out, and so it fastens pretty good, and then you can actually bend the track around this screw. And what's important is that the pins, the decoupling pins, don't touch this at all, because the screw head is very fine. I mean, these are, I guess, jeweler's screws or something like that, and the pin is well off or well above. I don't know if you can see that. It's well above the screw right there, and so that's a pretty good benefit. Once you're done laying the track, you can always remove the screws. You would ballast the track, and then you don't really need the screws because the ballast will keep the track in place. But while you're laying the track and experimenting with the track configurations and whatnot, I think this is a much more civilized solution, let's say, or nicer solution than gluing everything with white glue, caulk or something, because it just leaves residue and whatnot. And since I bought different sizes of these screws, you know, I've used a 6mm one, and that was pretty long to go through the tie and through secure to the plywood. But with 8 and 10, you can go through a piece of cork. I have a piece of HO cork. I mean, I could even go through HO cork and still have, you know, a bit of bite in the plywood itself. Although, I mean, I don't think it's necessary. You probably end up gluing the cork down once you have the track configuration. I mean, I have a plan, but as you can see here, let me just lift everything up. It's pretty long stretches of track, and especially over there in that area. So I thought, well, rather than trying to eye it out where the track should go, you can get you can take this is a chalk line, and of course there's a lot of reflection here. So if you take the chalk line, stretch it between the 2 points, and then just, you know, once it's tense, you just pull it up and it's going to leave a mark. This is just blue chalked. It's not gonna stay forever. Like you can see, it's temporary level 1, so it's nothing. But you get a really straight line, and then you can put the track along that line, or you can, you know, put the cork down or whatever works for you. But I think, you know, unless you have, I don't know, a 15 feet long ruler or a piece of wood or something, and I've not seen one, I think this is going to be a pretty good solution to getting straight lines. Obviously, I mean, you know, you might have to curve some places, like, you know, make the easement into the turnout over there or at the end or something, but at least you can get sort of straight tracks. And nothing is ever straight, but at least it will be somewhat straight, especially on the long runs, because you can see I have 1, 2, 3 pieces at least, so that's, you know, 3 meters or 12 feet or something like that. So I think that should be okay, and we'll see. I'm going to do another video when I start actually laying track to show how it works, and I don't know whether it's going to work or not, but we'll see. So that's about it for this segment. I'm going to post a link in the description to this gentleman's website where you can get both N scale and HO screws, and then if you think that that's something you might use on your layout, by all means. These are not expensive. I mean, you know, these are like, I don't know, $8 or something, or 8 pounds, I'm not sure, or not, I don't think it will be 8 pounds. I think 3 of them were like 50 Canadian or 40 with shipping. So either way, I mean, to me it was nothing, because these are reusable. They're fairly decent quality, so you can remove them and then use them again later. And with a decent screwdriver, I mean, it's gonna stay in place. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.